Solid as a rock. That's how Deputy Chairman of the National Insurance Corporation, Frank Myers, describes the financial state of the nation's pension fund. He made the remarks during a televised panel discussion on Sunday on the roadmap to recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic with specific focus on the investment climate. Myers assured the public that the pension fund is not in peril.
In terms of meeting our mandate as a pension provider, there is no question about it. The NIC is a solid, stable financial institution. Our last actuarial reports indicated that our depletion date is probably 2050 or thereabouts. But naturally, funds are not allowed to deplete. So that when he comes for his next examination, we will be looking at how we can extend the fund. But there's absolutely no question about us being able to meet our obligations.
Questions have been raised about the financial standing of the NIC in the wake of criticism of the management of the investment portfolio, which includes a controversial loan for the Cabot Links Golf Resort project at Cap Estate. Myers, who does not think the recent investments undertaken by the NIC merits the level of criticism, sought to explain the process.
The investment process in the NIC is fairly rigid. There is an investment policy which lays down what we can invest in, the terms on which we can invest in, what instruments, what companies, etc., and so on. And we do try to stick to that. Not rather we do stick to that fairly rigidly. It also indicates in terms of instruments, what sort of instruments we can invest in, for example, government paper, bonds, whatever. It tells us the proportions, the ratios, how much we can put in property, how much it's all fairly defined in the investment policy, and we are guided by that. We have an investment manager who normally deals with these matters when it comes to our attention. He does his due diligence, he does his assessments, makes recommendations, and it goes to an investment committee.
The NIC has received further scrutiny after the announced rollout of its economic relief program to provide income support for thousands of out-of-work St. Lucians who lost full-time employment as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. The move is part of the Chasney administration's social stabilization plan and has received wholehearted support from Myers.
We got involved in this situation purely because of the sudden termination of the employment of a massive part of the workforce, and we felt it was our duty to assist those workers. It was sudden, and I think that we had a realization those persons who contribute towards the fund, we could not just turn away. Contrary to what many people are thinking, it was something that we felt we had a moral obligation to assist those persons, and so we got involved in this. Sort of accidentally, if you will, but it was a good thing.
Myers claims that contrary to some reports, the NIC and its board of directors have been very diligent and prudent in the management of the fund. He shot down any notion of plans to raise the age of eligibility and increase contributions by subscribers.
We don't anticipate that. Like I say, we've got an actuarial review coming up in June or thereabouts, June, July. And naturally, the actuary is going to look at all those aspects of things. But as of now, I can tell you safely that has not come into any conversation whatsoever. And we'll be purely be guided by what the actuary says. As of now, I recall in the last actuarial review, there were a couple of matters, I think, that we were supposed to implement, but the government has those documents. I can't remember the exact details, but certainly nothing in terms of increasing contributions or pushing back the retirement age. That's not on the table at all at the moment.
During debate in Parliament last month on the amendment to the NIC Act to facilitate the economic relief program, lawmakers on the opposite benches in the House of Assembly lamented what they claim was a lack of information on the finances of the National Insurance Corporation. Independent Senator Adrian Auger also warned against excesses and abuse of the pension scheme, urging greater oversight of the NIC. Joachim de Plessis, HDS News Force.